Hello everyone, welcome back to this session. In this lesson, we are going to learn the important concept of cube root of unity. So let's assume that x is equal to 1 to the power 1 by 3. This is called as cube root of unity, right? This is called as cube root of unity. Now, can you write this one x to the power 3 and this is equal to 1. Now transpose 1 in LHS. So x cubed to the power 3 minus 1 is equal to 0. Now we can apply the AQ minus BQ formula. So AQ minus BQ is equal to A minus B, A square plus B square or plus AB. This is the formula of AQ minus BQ. So 1 means 1 to the power 3. So just apply this formula. So x minus 1 into x square plus 1 square or plus 1 into x, that is equal to 0. X minus 1 into this is x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now see, this is the product of 0. The product of two factor is 0. First factor is x minus 1 and second factor is x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. So we can now x minus 1 equal to 0. We can equate x minus 1 equal to 0 or x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1 here, or here is we have to apply the quadratic formula. So x is equal to minus b nothing but minus 1, minus b is 1, minus b plus minus b square minus 4a and c by 2a, right? So x is equal to minus 1 plus minus root under 1 minus 4 is minus 3 by 2. So x is equal to we have minus 1 plus minus root 3 is equal to, we can write root 3 iota. So this one is root 3 iota over 2. So we have two value. X is equal to, first one is minus 1 plus root 3 iota by 2 and second one is x is equal to minus 1 minus root 3 iota by 2, right? So now let us see here. If you call this one is omega, just name it. Let omega is equal to minus 1 plus root 3 iota by 2. Then other will call omega square. So second value of x is minus 1 minus root 3 iota by 2 is called omega square. Else we can suppose that this one is called omega square. So omega square is equal to minus 1 plus root 3 iota by 2. Then we have to call minus 1 minus root 3 iota by 2 is called omega, right? And here we have the three value of x. First value is x is equal to 1, second value is minus 1 plus root 3 iota by 2 and third value is minus 1 minus root 3 iota by 2. So here is important concept. X is equal to 1 is called a real value of cube root of unity. While x is equal to omega, this one and this one is called imaginary cube root of unity. So x is equal to omega and omega square are called imaginary cube root of unity. Cube roots of unity. So there is a three value of x. First is x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1 is called real solutions, and x is equal to minus 1 plus root 3 iota by 2 is called imaginary solution, and third one is minus 1 minus root 3 iota by 2 is also called the imaginary solution. So omega and omega square is called imaginary solutions, where x is equal to 1 is called real solution of cube root of unity. Now let us see the properties. So first properties is the sum of cube root of unity is 0. The sum of cube roots of unity is 0, right? So we know that we had the three value of x. One is 1, second is omega and third is omega square, right? And we know the value. So now there is important properties, that is 1 plus omega square is always 0. So this is very important, right? So you can remember. So we can write here, when you transpose omega square in RHS, so we have 1 plus omega is minus omega square. Third one is now transpose omega in RHS, so 1 plus omega square is equal to minus omega. Now transpose 1 in RHS, so omega plus omega square is minus 1. So this is the important, you just keep this important concept in mind, right? So there are the four conditions. First is 1 plus omega 1 plus omega square is 0. Second is 1 plus omega is minus omega square. 1 plus omega square is minus omega, and omega plus omega square is equal to minus 1. Now, second important properties is the product of 3 cube roots of unity is 1. 3 cube roots of unity is 1. It means what is the value of x? X is 1 omega and omega square. So now when you multiply this one, so 1 into omega square is always 1. That is omega to the power 3 is always 1, right? Now just break this one. So can you use this one? Omega square is equal to 1 by omega. Simply transpose this omega in RHS, right? And now when you transpose omega square in RHS, so omega is equal to 1 by omega to the power 2, right? So again we have the three important conditions. Just keep this point in mind. So omega cube is equal to 1, omega square is equal to 1 by omega, and omega is equal to 1 by omega square. Now third important properties is, if we have omega to the power n, right? So we can write omega to the power r, where r is remainder when n divided by 3, right? Suppose that we have omega to the power 11, so simply divide 11 by 3. So 3 3s are 9, so we have remainder 2, so we can write omega to the power 2. So we have to write the remainder, right? Second one is, suppose that we have omega to the power 100, so we can write, now simply divide 100 by 3. So this one is, so remainder is here 1, so omega to the power 1. Now suppose that there is another properties, fourth properties is that cube root of minus 1 is, because we know that x to the power 1 by 3 is what? X is equal to 1 omega and omega square. Similarly, x to the power, if we have minus 1 to the power 1 by 3, then we can write x is equal to minus 1 minus omega and minus omega square. So this is also important. So cube root of minus 1 is equal to minus 1 minus omega and minus omega square. So we can write here as a note, cube root of minus 1 is minus 1 minus omega and minus omega square. Okay, so now student, till now we have discussed the cube root of unity. So there is the three value, x is equal to 1, omega and omega square. One is called real solutions, minus 1 plus root 3 iota by 2, and minus 1 minus root 3 iota by 2 is called the imaginary solutions, right? Then there is some properties that means sum of cube root of unity is always 0. So 1 plus omega square is 0. So you may write 1 plus omega is minus omega square, 1 plus omega square is minus omega, and omega plus omega square is equal to minus 1. Third important property is the product of 3 cube root of unity is always 1. It means 1 into omega square is 1. So omega cube is equal to always 1. Now simplify it. So we can write omega square is equal to 1 by omega. Simply transpose this omega in RHS, and omega is equal to 1 by omega square. Now there is important other properties. Omega to the power n, we can write omega to the power r, where r is remainder when n divided by 3. Suppose that we have omega to the power 11, so we can write omega square, right? Now there is some question. Let us solve this question. Solve the equation x minus 1 to the power 3 plus 8 in the set C of the all complex number. Set C means what? C means complex number, right? So x minus 1 to the power 3 plus 8 is equal to 0. So we can write here x minus 1 to the power 3 is equal to minus 8. We can also write x minus 1 is equal to minus 8 to the power 1 by 3, and we can also write x minus 1 is equal to, just separate it because minus 8 is equal to minus 1 into what? 8. So product of 8 and minus 1. So this one is minus 1 to the power 1 by 3, right? So x minus 1, and this one is 2, and this is the cube root of minus 1. So cube root of minus 1, we have 3 value, right? So we have minus 1, minus omega, and minus omega square. So now take one by one. So minus 1 is equal to minus 2. So x is equal to minus 1. Now when you take the second one, so x minus 1 is equal to 2 into minus omega. So x is equal to 1 minus 2 omega. And third one is, last one is x minus 1 is equal to 2 into minus omega square. So x is equal to 1 minus 2 omega square, right? So this is the solution of these equations. Now there is a important conditions, that means cube root of unity is the represent the vertices of equilateral triangle, right? So you may write here cube roots of unity represent vertices of equilateral triangle. On the organ plane. So we know that cube root of unity x is equal to 1 to the power 1 by 3. There are three value of x, 1, omega, and omega square, right? So basically this represent the vertices of equilateral triangle. So now simply represent the 1, omega, and omega square. So this one is, suppose that 1, so this is 1 comma 0. Now second is omega. So we know that omega is equal to minus 1 plus root 3 iota by 2. If you call this one is omega, right? So omega square is equal to minus 1 minus root 3 iota by what? 2. And this is imaginary axis, and this one is called a real axis, right? So second one is minus 1 plus root 3 iota by 2. So this is in second quadrant. So suppose that this is the A is in second quadrant, that is omega, and this one is third quadrant, right? This one in omega square is in third quadrant. So here is omega square, that is B, that is omega square, because here is both are negative. So minus 1 minus root 3 iota by 2, and last one, 1 is 1 comma 0, that is 1. So 1 lie on the x-axis, that is real axis. Now simply when you join it, and you will get the equilateral triangle, right? Because the distance of AC is equal to AB is equal to BC. All are equal. It means cube root of unity represent vertices of equilateral triangle. Now student, let us see the one important factorization in terms of cube root of unity. We have to factorize AQ plus BQ and AQ minus BQ, right? So simply apply the formula. AQ plus BQ is equal to A plus B into A square minus AB plus B square, right? We have to factorize this one in terms of cube root of unity. So here is 1 plus omega square is equal to 0 because sum of cube root of unity is 0. So omega plus omega square we can write minus 1. So here is nothing but a plus b and a square, and this is minus ab, so we can write plus of minus 1 ab or plus b square. Now a plus b into a square, and this minus 1 is replaced by omega plus omega square. So this is omega plus omega square into ab and plus b square, right? So a plus b into a square plus ab omega plus ab omega square or plus b square. So this one is a plus b. Now you can take a common, so a plus b omega, and here is b is common, so a omega square plus b, right? So a plus b into a plus b omega and plus, now can you take omega square common, right? So this one is b omega square, so we have a by a, only a plus b by omega square, right? So omega into omega square is equal to 1, so omega is equal to 1 by omega square. It means 1 by omega square, you may write omega, right? So this one is a plus b into a plus b omega and plus b omega square, and a plus b over omega square means 1 by omega square is omega, so you can simply write b omega, right? Now a plus b omega is common, so a plus b into a plus b omega is common, and the remaining is 1 plus a plus what? A plus b omega square. So this is the formula of, this is the factorization of aq plus bq in terms of cube root of unity, that is a plus b into a plus b omega into a plus b omega square. This is the important. Now we have another, so this is your terms, so solve this one. So I will write aq minus bq in terms of omega, so this will be a minus b into a minus b omega into similarly b minus a minus b omega square. This is the factorization of aq minus bq in terms of cube root of unity. And third is that you have to factorize the aq plus bq plus cq minus 3abc, right, in terms of cube root of unity. So simply apply the formula aq plus bq plus cq minus 3abc. You must have studied in 9th and 10th. So this is a plus b plus c and a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc and minus ca, right? This is the formula. Now you have to convert this whole expression in terms of cube root of unity, right? So first try to solve this question on your own, and I will just write the final answer. So this is a plus b plus c into a plus b omega plus c omega square and a plus b omega square plus c omega. This is the factorization of aq plus bq plus cq minus 3abc in terms of cube root of unity. Now students, we have some questions. So alpha and beta are imaginary cube root of unity. You know that omega and omega square is called imaginary cube root of unity. So find the value of alpha to the power 4 plus beta to the power 4 plus 1 by alpha into beta. So this is alpha and beta. So let cube root of unity is 1 to the power 1 by 3 and x is equal to 1 omega and omega square, and omega square is called the imaginary cube root of unity. So now alpha is equal to omega. If alpha is equal to omega, then beta is equal to omega square, right? We have to solve this one. right? We have to find out the value of this one. So alpha to the power 4 plus beta to the power 4 plus 1 by alpha beta. So alpha means, suppose that this is omega, so omega to the power 4, beta means omega square to the power 4 plus 1 by alpha beta means omega into omega square. So omega to the power 4 means now we have to divide this power by 3, so remainder will be 1. So this is omega. Here omega to the power 8 and this one is omega to the power 3. Now we have to divide 8 by 3. So 3 2 is 6 and remainder is 2. So this one is omega plus omega square and 1 by omega q, that means 1 by omega q is always 1. So the finally we have omega square plus 1. So this is nothing but sum of cube root of unity, and sum of cube root of unity is always 0. So the value of this expression alpha to the power 4 plus beta to the power 4 or 1 by alpha beta is equal to what? 0. Now we have another question, z plus z to the power minus 1 is equal to 1. Then find the value of z to the power 100 plus z to the power minus 100, right? So here is z plus z to the power minus 1 is equal to 1. Now we can write this one, 1 by z is equal to 1. So now simply solve this one, z square plus 1 by z is equal to 1. Cross multiply, z square plus 1 is equal to z. Transpose in LHS, so z square minus z plus 1 is 0. Again apply the quadratic formula, so z is equal to minus b minus minus plus b square minus 1 square minus 4a and c by 2a. So z is equal to 1 plus minus 1 minus 4, that is minus 3 by 2. So z is equal to 1 plus minus root 3 iota by 2, right? So we have z is equal to 1 plus root 3 iota by 2 and z is equal to 1 minus root 3 iota by 2. Now let us remind the value of omega. So omega is minus 1 plus root 3 iota by 2, right? And omega square is what? Omega square is minus 1 minus root 3 iota by 2. This is omega square. So now when you take minus common here, right? So this is minus of 1 minus root 3 iota by 2, right? And this is nothing but this z1. So we have two value, right? We have two value of z. So suppose that this is z1 and this is z2. So can you write this one is z2? Because here is 1 minus root 3 iota by 2 is z2. So omega is minus z2. So z2 is what? Nothing but we have minus omega. Similarly, omega square, again take minus common. So 1 plus root 3 iota by 2 and omega square is equal to, here is 1 plus root 3 iota by 2 is nothing but z1. So this is minus z1. So z1 is equal to minus omega square, right? So the solution of this expression, this equation is minus omega and minus omega square, right? Now we have to solve this one. We have to find the value of this one, right? So we have to put we have the two value of z1 and z2, and z1 is minus omega square and z2 is minus omega. So now we have to find the value of z to the power 100 plus z to the power minus 100. So you may write z to the power 100 plus 1 by z to the power 100, right? Now z is equal to minus omega. So here is minus omega to the power 100 or plus 1 by minus omega to the power 100. So this one is, here is a power even. So simply write omega to the power 100 and here is also power even. So 1 by omega to the power 100. Now we have to divide by 3. So 100 divided by 3 is, remainder would be what? 99. Remainder would be 1. So divided by 3. So here is 9. Here is 3. 9. Again remainder is 1. So this is nothing but omega to the power 1 plus omega to the power 1. And 1 by omega is equal to omega square, right? You know that 1 omega into omega square is 1. So 1 by omega is equal to omega square. So omega plus omega square, and omega plus omega square is nothing but 1. Why? Because here is 1 plus omega square is equal to 0. We know the properties. So omega plus omega square is equal to what? This is minus 1. So the final value of this expression is minus 1. Now we have another questions for you, right? So this is the PYQ question of JEE Mains. So x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. So do you remember that this equations here, you can see here we got the same expression, x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. It means it has the two solutions, omega and omega square. Similarly here we have the two solution of this equation, x square plus x plus omega is equal to 0. Then find the value of this whole, right? So basically the value of x is equal to omega. So x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. When you solve, you will get the omega and omega square, right? Now we have to solve this one. We have to find the value. You have to find the value of this one, right? To give an expression. So x plus 1 by x to the power 4 plus x square plus 1 by x square to the power 4 plus x cube plus 1 by x to the power 3 to the power 4 dot and x to the power 25 plus 1 by x to the power 25 to the power 4. Now put any, you may put any value of it. You may put omega or omega square. Suppose that put x is equal to omega. So here is omega or 1 by omega to the power 4. Now omega, it means omega square or 1 by omega square to the power 4. Here is omega to the power 3 and omega to the power 3 to the power 4. Similarly, here will be x to the power 4. So you may write x to the omega to the power 4 plus 1 by omega to the power 4 to the power 4 dot and x to the omega to the power 25 plus 1 by omega to the power 25 whole to the power 4. So here student, 1 by omega is omega square. So cube root of product of cube root of unity is 1. So omega square is equal to 1 by omega. So 1 by omega is replaced by omega square. So omega plus omega square whole to the power 4. This one is omega square. Again 1 by omega square is nothing but simply transpose this one. So omega is equal to 1 by omega square. So here is omega square and omega to the power 4. Omega to the power 3 is 1 and this is also 1. Now see, again this will repeat here. These three terms repeat again. Why? Because now we have to divide by 3 here. So remainder is 1 and 1, right? And see, and there is total 25 such terms. So omega to the power 25 and 1 by omega to the power 25 and whole to the power 4. So see, this whole terms is going to repeat how many times? This whole terms repeat because there is total 25. So it repeats 8 times. So here we can simply write 8 into omega and omega square whole to the power, because here is total 25 such expression. So you may write this one 8 times because 8 into 3 is what? 8 into 3 is 24, right? So till this whole expressions repeated 8 times because here is 25. So here is to the power 4, then omega square plus omega square plus omega whole to the power 4, and last one is 2 to the power 4, and the last term is omega to the power 25. So 25 divided by 3, so it will be remainder is 1. So omega plus 1 by omega and whole to the power 4. So 1 plus omega square is nothing but minus 1 to the power 4. This is also minus 1 to the power 4, and 2 to the power 4 is 16, and plus this is omega plus omega square whole to the power 4. So 8 and 1 plus 1 plus 16, and this is 1 plus omega square is minus 1 to the power 4. So this is 8 into 18 plus 1. So this one is 144 plus 1. So this is 145. So final answer of this whole expression is what? 145. Is it clear? I have a questions for you. So you have to solve this one, right? So this is your turns now. So 1 plus root 3 to the power 100 plus 1 minus root 3 to the power 100 plus 2 to the power 100. You have to solve and write your answer in the comment sections. I hope you all have enjoyed this session. See you in the next one.